Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exceptional episode of the Pitchside Podcast.
Hey.
The lineup is amazing as well. Tomi.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm yellow, and how are you?
Now you are looking beautiful in your yellow. It's
Thank you.
bringing out your features.
Thank you.
You know?
All thanks to Modise.
All right,
because
to Modise.
Topic ya Modise.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
I was having
Shaba
Modise.
disclaimer.
No,
Make it
I'll,
rich, please.
I'll show you after the show. Yeah.
Modise.
How are you, sir?
Ushap.
I get easy.
Hey, monna o tsamaile man. Re na tlo bona mo di internet o re tsamaya mafatshe.
I'm getting to sing.
We're in Rome.
Hey, you know?
No, Milan.
Milan.
Yeah, different. You see the levels, you know? Did you hear that? No, Milan.
How is Milan?
Uboni San Siro?
Yeah, no, unfortunately I didn't. Wabona wena wahlupa.
Oh, wena mana wa hlopha man.
No.
When I
Alala.
Hey, would you mind?
Gentlemen, we're back at CAF Champions League. Babane Swallows we're playing against. Looking forward to the game. Looking forward to seeing the boys back on the field.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the game. Looking forward to see Mamelodi Sundowns back into winning ways. I think it's going to be a nice test for Machita, because then you're playing a team that also has so much history in Swaziland. I mean, if it's not one of the oldest team, it is. I mean, we know that they have players that also play their trade in South Africa with Sabet, you know, just to mention, you know, there's a lot of players that play there. And so then you're playing a team that normally they want to impress. They also want to be seen. They also want to, because now the opportunities are open. You know, the more they progress in the Champions League, you know, the North African teams, they come in and sign new players. And that's where the opportunity is. And playing Mamelodi Sundowns, you're playing against players that are highly motivated. So it's going to be a very good test to see if the boys are also, you know, hungry enough to be able to win the game. To bring back joy to the fans, because we know how the fans are feeling right now, but also the players themselves, because they're the ones that are performing on the pitch. So it will be very interesting to see how then they do bounce back.
And Modise, ke nako e right for Majita go bathole di minutes. Remember when you playing for Sundowns, the season has become longer. So you try by all means now for uthole that rhythm. Because I mean, you just spoke about how they felt after the matches that they played. I don't think they're feeling good. But because it was the pressure matches. So when you play a Champions League, I think there's a bridge of the breather in terms of the levels and even the first matches of the Champions League. So you can even afford to use other players to get minutes into the field. And I think more than anything, you need players to Mo River. They haven't played to come and maybe fair the minutes or last into the season, because the season is going to be long.
Gents, we're playing both legs at home due to there not being no availability of stadiums in Eswatini. Is this an advantage to us?
It should be an advantage to us. I mean, it's a pitch that we mostly play our games at, but also Lebanon, they just played not so long ago. So they possibly familiar with the surroundings, but we better at it, because we're playing at home. We know the surface a little more better. But also, I think right now what's important for the team is to find that rhythm, because once we get that rhythm, we become a very difficult team to beat. And I think that's one thing that we're not struggling with form. It's the rhythm, because sometimes we play with the rhythm. And I think it's the advantage that we have as we're playing back to back at home. We need to use that to our advantage and be able to get maximum points and to be able to progress a little bit further.
As guys who have played the game before, when there has been a change in the team, how difficult is it to find that rhythm?
It's a bit a challenge.
Okay.
A challenge that can be overcome within few matches. Because the matches will tell you where you're going throughout the season. He's speaking about the rhythm. The rhythm is very, very important, especially when you play for a team like a Sundowns, where key players that you know that must hold that piano for us has to come to party. They must make sure that they on the ball all the time. Because the more you're on the ball all the time, Teko will tell you, then your muscles, memories will remember where you must pass, when not to pass. And at that when that comes, it gives you that rhythm. Rhythm comes when you have the ball all the time. And I think over these past two matches, I believe that we didn't use the ball where we normally use the ball, which is in the midfield. And our midfielders weren't as close to one another as we normally play. So I think that will obviously temper with our rhythm. And I think with the match that is coming, which a Champions League match, that gives you a rhythm, because when we look at the matches that you're going to play in a Champions League, different game model will allow you to try certain things. And a team like Mbabane Swallows, with huge history, of course, they will try by all means to press you in some moments. Yeah. And when they press you, they give you that comfort of saying, no, we can try other things. Your midfielders must be on the ball all the time. Your playmaker must be on the ball all the time, and that gives you stability and control in the matches. Because Sundowns they are good, or they look good when they have control on the ball.
You spoke about the distances of the midfielders from each other. Do you think that is a coaching thing, or it's just once again finding the rhythm thing?
I think it goes back to the first question that you asked, Hlompho, as to when there's a change, does it disturb or anything like that? Because I think for the players, I think with Mamelodi Sundowns, we've got players that are playing in the national team. National team, you've got also the players that are playing in Champions League every season. Yeah. So within those spaces, at times they force you to adapt to what the situation is. Yeah. And I strongly believe that irrespective of the changes, whether it's Coach Mangoba, whether it doesn't matter, you need to be able to adapt. Yeah. And then the question then becomes then, the duration of your adaptation. Are you adapting a little bit sooner? Because there's players that I know for a fact that they adapt into things a little bit sooner. Others they take time because they need rhythm. But I strongly believe that with the experienced players that we have, we should be able to adapt. Because at times, Hlompho will tell you, when there was a big change at Mamelodi Sundowns, that's when Coach Peter came. It was very difficult for us to adapt because he wanted things, we needed to win now, right? But once we got that rhythm right, it was very difficult for you to beat us. But the thing is, like, it's repetition. So every time you get to training, you remember what the coach, because coaches have different methods 100%. Of playing. So it's you repeating the same thing. And sometimes it's very difficult to let go of the things that you know better. Yeah. You know, so it's just a mental thing for the players. It's to how then do you adapt. And also coming back to what I was trying to say is, at times in the game, when you play, even though the coach is giving you such instructions, the game sometimes tells you differently. So now your experience needs to kick in. Like, okay, let's say we're playing a game and then we're anticipating them to press higher up. We need to play those, Hlompho needs to play those balls for the Lange to them to run through them. But then they're playing deeper. So there's no way then Hlompho could play. Hlompho will try and play 1-2, and then when the balls are like, we retreat like, guys, okay, let's play. Let's allow them to come through, but still being able later on to execute what the coach wants. And I think that's where the experience comes in. With the players that are experienced on the pitch, they need to read the game. It's irrespective of what the coach wants, because at the end of the day, sometimes you force the coach's hand. You understand? Because I'll play with Hlompho. Hlompho needs to play a little bit deeper, right? And then maybe Hlompho has a little bit deeper. When I'm playing a little high, I don't get balls from him, because then he plays longer. Then when I go deeper, Hlompho goes higher. Second balls, you're able to shoot outside the box. I can't. But then that's not a coach's thing. Coach never told us for me to play a little bit deeper. It's just that the experience. Sometimes you force the coaches and by doing the right thing for the team. But I think we do have the players, and that's what I think right now. When your back is against the wall, the only thing that you can do now is to move forward. And sometimes you need to be a little bit aggressive to push people to move away. We're a team to beat. Yeah. You understand? Every season we're a team to beat. And things are getting tougher and tougher. Teams are signing good players. Teams are becoming stronger because we are the team to beat. They don't mind losing against others, but not maybe Sundowns. So then within the players themselves, they need to start, digging a little more deeper. You can't play the way that you played last season if you want to be great. Unless you want to be average, you want to stay in the same level, then it's okay. But if you want to be great, then you need to dig a little bit deeper. You need to do things a little bit extra. If you're training twice a day, hey, my friend, train three times. Because there's a person that wants to take your place.
And they're doing the
you understand
work
what I'm
right
saying? Yes. So I think that's where the situation is. I guess in J, we're in a situation where players are going to be tested, the character of the team as well. But these are the right games that we need to start with.
I think, Modise, to add on what you say, on a valid point. Especially when you speak about the experiences of the game. Because the game tells you, like you say, how you should approach it. We used to be in trouble a lot when we change formation, especially when you come deeper, because they never used to like him when he comes deeper because he's got skills. I used to control and I give stability when it comes to midfield. But when he goes deeper, the benefits are when I'm higher up, chances are we'll get enough chance or a second ball. I'm aggressive enough to get the second ball. Unlike him, he can't tackle. But then at the same time, when I'm going there, it means he must do the right thing. And I'm hoping to say he must do the right thing. He mustn't try to flick it, because when he flick it, they will take it and they will score. Yeah. But you hope him by saying, okay, I trust him, and you give him the look that you you can't do this because the first person, they will never look at Teko. They'll say, where's your position?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, I think Teko is very right when he said the experience of the players comes in to say, Teko, when you're there, you need to know that you do the right thing. Because when I'm there, I'm playing your role. And your role, I have to win the ball for us. So you're trying to play your role. And I think players, when they've been given the system, sometimes it deprive them to do certain things. So they are restricted because they said the coach said this. When you approach with an open mind, that you say, if the coach says this, but the situation in the field
requires me to do something else,
then I must come up with something else.
Yeah.
And that's what has been happening with us. And unfortunately, at the time, even though we will take hiding, of course, some matches we will concede a goal where we weren't supposed to concede because I wasn't in my position. I trusted that Teko was going to slide tackle like it, and we end up conceding. But with that, you still balance it to say, what are the benefits of asking them? Because sometimes you have to risk it. If you're not willing to risk it,
and then you're not going to win anything.
You're not going to win anything because you are a team that always you are. Your backs are against the wall. So you must always try to break the ice, especially when things are looking very bit difficult. They are not difficult, they look difficult because you just started. But once you get that gear up, second gear, I think, the sky is the limit.
So we're going now into a situation whereby it's the first time we're facing Bafana Swallows. It's they've also got CAF experience. Now, do we then not risk it all and play safe in the first leg, hoping to know that when they come back for the second,
did you just say safe?
He'll
answer.
We don't have time. We can't play safe because then we don't know what safe is, right? So the best thing that we can do is respect the team, respect Bafana Swallows.
Yeah, because they are champions in their own right, and they qualified to get
exactly.
Here.
So we need to respect them, and by also showing respect is having a little bit of arrogancy on the ball, because then the difficulties of playing against a player that wants to show you that he's good, that wants to show you that he belongs. It becomes very, very difficult. But then what you need to do then it's also prove a point as a footballer. So I never liked players that say I don't have to prove a point. It's because you're not competitive enough. So now we're in a space where now we need to show our competitiveness. It's always been there. But at times it gets a little bit easier, so we get a little bit complacent. But now we're not. So now we get
to be tested.
Yeah, we tested, and I like players that are tested. I like teams when we're tested. It's then how then you bounce back, and we've bounced back so many times before. It's not new to us. But now the problem is at times, when games are a little bit difficult, players tend to forget who they are. They forget how good they really, really are. And I think now we're going to play against a team that has got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Now it's a high time that we need to prove and show everybody how and remind everybody how good we are, irrespective of who we're playing against. Because I remember we faced, I think a couple of seasons ago, I think we faced a team from Madagascar or Mauritius. When Keisha scored 6 to 7 goals, and we played back to back. Those are the results. I'm not saying Bafana Swallows might be open like that, but if it's like that, because you must remember, we haven't scored this season. It's a big concern. We haven't scored this season. So this is the game. It's Vulamagate now.
I guess those then are the things that then start the conversation, the murmurs, leading journalists to start asking those type of questions to say, is there a crisis? You have not scored.
Whatever a goal can change the way how you see football.
Yes.
And we're talking here that Sundowns didn't score. But we don't count the number of chances that they created. And if by any match you take 2 of the chances that you created, we weren't going to be sitting here talking about we haven't scored because we created so many chances. And Teko said something very, very, very crucial, that when you are aggressive on the ball, it means you are fearless. But that doesn't take away the respect of the opponent, but it reminds you how good you are as a team, and it brings those good memories that you have done it before, then it means I have to do it again. And it takes the responsibility of the key players, which is the experienced player, to say, Buffett, we have done this before. We found this situation before. Why can't we overcome this situation by doing 1, 2, 3? That's not the coach's thing. That's the players that are in there to remind each other. And it goes back to what Teko was talking about. Again, the match that we played against Madagascar team. Those are the measures that you take. For instance, if you want to test yourself in your shooting practice, you say, okay, in this match, guys, let's try to score early. That will break the ice. When you score 2 goals early, certain things you can try now. The short corner that we tried against Polokwane City didn't come out.
Then you can
now,
try it there.
We can try now. We're 2 goals late. You know, we will be responsible in some moments. You can't do all the time. The guys who where they shoot from outside the box, let them try in that match. We 2-0 up. So with Temba, when they play between the line, you say, Temba, go there. We know that it's going to be a little bit difficult, but try it with this, because now we're 2-0 and we, So I think it's moment when I take a game of moments. It will tell you where you're going in the next match.
I think you touched on something very important. You said, especially when our back's against the wall, you find players not trusting themselves, being now scared to even try anything because of the amount of pressure. Now, we sit in a situation whereby we have fans that are now questioning the same team that has this rich history. What are we saying to them?
To the fans, I think it's, to a certain level, they are right.
Yeah.
Right? Because they've witnessed Mamelodi Sundowns being back against the wall and be able to survive. Bounce back. So they kind of right. But also, it's also, we also saying to them, when we look like things are a little bit difficult, that's when we need them most.
Yeah.
Not questioning our integrity, not questioning our commitment. We need them most. And we've been in situations like this with them where at the end of the day we rejoiced, right? And they'll come back and say, but you guys bounce back. So when things are a little bit tough, as much as we say to players, they must tap into those good memories where they found situations like that. Also the fans. Yeah. So when things are a little bit tough, trust your players, because you've seen them doing this over and over again. And also just remember as a fan that you are supporting a team that everybody wants to beat. The difficulties of winning every single game is very, very difficult. So to them, it's a support that team in the way that you've been. Trust the process as much as you have along those years. When Coach Pizzo came here,
it was the same.
It was very difficult. At times, I remember at times there was moments where we needed to protect the coach because they were throwing missiles on the coach.
Yes, I remember.
But it's the same coach that went on to win Champions League and won everything that started all this success of Mamelodi Sundowns. So we're saying to them, don't forget where you come from. Don't listen to the noise. The noise is there because people are rejoicing. So when you've been at the top for so long, people want to drag you down. So it's okay. But we're saying now that you understand how it feels to also have that pain of losing, then the victories are going to be much sweeter. So support the team, and now we've got a lot of new players within the team that
they need their support.
They need to be fearless, but the only way that they can be, it's by results and by the support of the fans.
Skin tanning.
Come on now.
Since we get Milan every 2 months.
Yeah, no. Kana ka mo bona go exa poster re man skin lightening ke thola ga we thotse Milan ke ibona ke what we tso batla lighten up brighten skin.
Oh, Modise.
I want to get
Modise. Yeah.
Ka etsang?
O batla skin lightening.
Okay, sure.
We tso batla o matcha le buyelo ba top ya. Gentlemen, what are your score predictions for the game?
For the two-legged fixture?
Yes.
I think it's. I just want to be brave enough and put the boys on the spot. I think it's a 6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
I'm adding that number. I see 4-0 first leg.
Yes.
The second leg, I see another 4-0.
Okay. All right. I support it.
They're under pressure, the boys.
That's why they're here.
It's a good pressure, man. I think Teko will tell you. The more you're under pressure at Sundowns, it brings the best out of you.
Yeah.
Because nobody is
really supporting you.
100%.
It's you against your supporters and maybe your family.
Yeah.
You know, the rest, they want you to lose. I mean, you've been winning. I mean, you know, and that you're I mean, okay, but we'll win. So I think they're under pressure. They need to make sure that they deliver under pressure. It's not easy, but
it's doable.
It's doable.
Yeah. Amazing. Masandawana, we look forward to seeing you guys at the stadium. Leshapa Scoop, Libina. We are really, really, really looking forward to it. The boys are hyped up. And as you've heard the gents, the score predictions are out. So it's really going to be a great one. And we hope to see you guys at the stadium. Don't forget, Reabatsena, Vie. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. We are Masandawana
forever.
Cabo Yellow.